Hello, Dan. Thanks for coming out to the Dividend Capital presentation by Matt Selman and the presentation on industrial income trust. So thank you for helping host the event and bringing out the clients, and hope everybody enjoyed the presentation. Wanted to just go through a couple things about your swing here. And first thing is just your setup. All right. And let's see here. I would just say you got a little bit too much forward press in the shaft. Okay, when I draw that line up and I start to see it extend outside of the arm, it's just a little bit too much. It's generally probably a little bit of a band-aid that people do to try and keep the club face a little more closed. It actually causes you to close the club face a little bit on the way back. But you know, if we just look at a couple guys, you know, here's Hank Keeney on the older tour player, but you see where that shaft is right up in between the arms there. We'll do it again with Fred Funk. He's got a little bit more of a forward press, but it's still just right up the arm. Okay, so just bring those hands back just a little bit. All right, as you take the club away, you actually got a really good swing. I like that it's short, it's compact, there's not a lot of crazy moving parts. You know, you'd see Funk's the same way. The only real big difference for you is I would work on this a little bit with you. Look where Funk's shoulder is and look where yours is. See how yours, let me get these lines out of here, hold on. See how your shoulder, if I draw this line up from your hip, you're kind of leaning back into it and your shoulder's just right on top of the ball. Okay, but we draw that line up from Funk. See how he's leaning away from that line? Okay, so we draw that. Let me use a different color for him so we can see it. We'll use green here. We draw that green line up off of his hip. You can see how he's leaning away from that, and so he's maintaining his posture a little bit better. You just get a little bit, you know, caved in a little bit. I'll show you a drill when we pop on the live video that you can do to work on that a little bit. But otherwise, it's pretty good action right there. Okay. As you come down, get the lines out of here. Here we are. Okay, as you come down. Alright, not bad, not bad. Right in here. This is where you start losing it a little bit. Okay, so here we are coming in. Okay, two things I see is one, your right elbow starts getting out away from you a little bit, and that's just because you're starting to release the club a little bit early. Right in here as you're hitting it. Okay, so if we look at the arm position in relation to it, just a little bit of a flip. Okay, which can cause you to lose a little bit of power right there. I would see if you're working on trying to get you to hang on to a little bit more, maybe a little more turn into it. You can see your hips are very square to the ball at this point. Might be sliding a little bit more than turning. I'm going to flip it over to the side view to show you what I mean by that. Okay, and let me get Funk open on that side view as well. So as you take it up to the top, okay, decent takeaway right here. Gets a little bit steep coming down right in this area. All right, and that's part of that. What I was talking about is the leaning forward at the top. You know, having that shoulder leaning back a little bit more. Again, it'll be easy to explain on a live video, but. If I go to this is your swing plane line right here. Okay, we do the same for Funk. All right, watch as he goes back. So he goes up the line. Okay, club's right there. Watch as the club comes down. See how it gets down back. See how it's dropping below his shoulder, and those two green lines are a little more parallel. So go back over to yours. Okay, take it back. Here it goes up the line real nice. Gets to a good position at the top. Watch coming down though, it's going to get a little bit steep. See that? It starts getting out a little bit right in here. See how your shaft is above your shoulder? And see how his is below the shoulder? Okay? And that's probably that's your biggest culprit I see really. And that's due to two things. One, that body position at the top, and then just coming down a little bit steep. Okay? And if you undo that line, if you watch as it continues down, see how the shaft never gets back to the line? If we go over to Funk here, watch how his shafts get back to the line. See how it's right just on top of it now, it's coming right down onto the line there, and yours gets drops in a little bit steep. Club face is really open at that point, and then boom, you got to flip your hands at it just a little bit to square it up. Okay, the body motion, the turn actually isn't that bad. It's just because you're a little bit steep. You know, there's your impact position. There's Fred's. I mean, he's got a lot more. You can see a lot more of his backside, but you're moving through it. That's good. I just think if we could work your swing plane a little bit better. See how right in there, your hands are cached in the club right there. See how the club's outside of your hands at that point? If we back Fred up, see how his is in line with his hands? That's essentially the same point of the swing. So when yours gets outside, this red line here, I'm going to draw. See how that's going that way? That's the way your club's going to move through the hitting zone. You can see, which is a little bit across our aiming line. See those two red lines aren't parallel. If we put Fred's red line there, there's his aiming line. Look at his club. So you'll end up cutting the ball because you're pulling across it a little bit, or you'll hook it. Okay. So what I want to do is hop on a live video here, just so it's easier to explain a few points. I know because this can get a little bit confusing with all the lines and the the different things we're talking about. But right there as you hit it and then left. So it's actually you actually have good motion. You actually have real good motion. I just think we could get your swing plane down a little bit better and allow you to not have to lose that angle, probably catch a little bit more distance. Okay, so I'm going to pop it up to a full screen and get here. Full. Alright, now we're going to pop it into a live camera mode. Alright, here we are. So what we want to work on is this takeaway a little bit, okay? Call this a chair drill, but you just take a chair and put it up next to your right side there, okay? What happened, we talked about, is as you go back, okay, we see you cave in a little bit, and as you swing up, you kind of get in this position here, more straight up and down, where you saw Funk was a little bit more leaned away over this way, okay? We talked about leaning, turning this way, okay? So what I want to see happen, that I think is your culprit, because for coming down a little bit steep, is because at the top, if you get up and you kind of cave into here and that shoulder is stuck here, it's going to come down a little bit steep. I'm exaggerating, but that's the illustration we need. So if I don't get quite turned behind, if I don't get that shoulder up, you end up coming down a little bit steep this way, and there's that cross the line view versus being a little more behind it, dropping it inside. So what I'd like to see you work on is get a chair or something right here, maybe do some swings in front of a mirror. But I want to see you make this type of motion. Take both your hands and put them into your sternum. Take both your thumbs, put them in your sternum, okay? Tilt forward like you're at a dress and just rotate, okay? Just rotate, all right? I know you're a bigger dude, I'm a little more flexible, but we're different body shapes. But you can still get that left shoulder or left elbow. I'm not moving my arms or elbows at all. They stay planted in your chest, and you just use your fists, right? Put them together, and then rotate, okay? See how that creates that lean away? You're not this way. It's not here, all right? So that's a good drill for you to feel that. Translate it into a club, same thing, rotate, all right? How that's going to translate on this side, oh, by the way, the reason you have the chair is you want to feel like you're kind of leaning towards the chair, not away from it, okay? How that translates over here is, as we come back, okay, as we come up, now when we come down, that club can come down below the shoulder here, and we can hit down the line. We won't end up getting here an early release with the club outside of the hands like I talked about, and then having to pull across or flip it real quick, okay? So it's getting it up, but then working on getting that club to come down from the inside here, okay? From here, you can hit down the line. From here, all you can do is pull across, okay? That's where you're going to hit poles and fades. So
set a club on the ground like I've got here, okay? Get that club coming down, match it up, and then turn it through, okay? Up to the top. Use a mirror, okay? Like you're looking in the mirror, so you go up. See that club fall down below your shoulder like this, okay? And that's going to help you get that club on plane a little bit better. It's going to help you be able to turn through a little bit more. It's also going to help you hit down into the ball, which is what we want for more power, where you don't have to swing as hard, but you end up compressing the ball properly when you hit down into it and through the shot, okay? So, you have really good motion. I know I'm talking a lot about a lot of different things. It's really just that swing plane was a little bit steep, like we talked about, a little bit steep coming over, and then that club getting outside of your hands here, okay? But we want to make it get more inside here, in line with your hands coming down. That's root cause though was that left shoulder being a little bit short in here and just a little bit over it this way, okay? So get that left shoulder behind the ball a little bit more, and then start working that swing plane from down underneath. Your miss hits when you work on this should be to the right, because you're probably coming from too far inside, right? But it eventually will straighten out and get you swinging down the path a little bit more, okay? Hopefully that's helpful for you, Dan. I really appreciate you helping host this event. If you have any other questions about your golf swing or anything, feel free to reach out to me, and good luck with it. Thanks.